bouncing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the day, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, everything ain't pretty but it's love though. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah.
Hello. Good afternoon. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid for Monday, January 9th, 2023. Man, first of all, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you had a fantastic start to your day. If you had to go back to work today, it is 40 degrees here in Michigan, in the metropolitan Detroit area, and winter is here, man, but that's all right because before you know it, it'll be spring, and we'll be talking more Detroit Lions football. Man, what a season. What a season, man. I'm so busy. I got so much going on. I probably will do, since Nick will be live tomorrow on this channel, I will probably do a season wrap-up on Detroit Lions Syndicate tomorrow. I'll probably be going live over there instead of over here because he's live tomorrow, and I don't want to mess with his stuff tomorrow, but we got to do a season wrap-up. First of all, man, I got to say, man, shout out to everybody in the chat. Doug, I saw your Syndicate form, man. So I will be getting with you in the off season. I went over there to check out your content. Think you got some potential, my friend. So we'll be linking up as the off season progresses. But I just want to say thank y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for supporting not only Detroit Lions Syndicate, but Syndicate Sports Detroit. And if you don't know, the alternate channel, the Syndicate Sports Detroit XL, I might lower it to or shorten it to SSD XL. I was worried about the name. But I think it can do its job on its own. It doesn't matter what the channel name is. So look for that over there. That's going to be where content is excess over there. But I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. This was the first year, and I'm not going to make this about, some mushy love song or something like that. But before I get into me, Damar Hamlin, man, released from the hospital. He got released to the hospital from the Cincinnati hospital, and he is on his way back to Buffalo. Just almost 1 week later from having to be resuscitated on the field. So shout out to the medical staff in Buffalo, the medical staff at the Cincinnati hospital. Shout out to the fans, the friends, the family, the NFL, everybody, man, for making this, for getting this kid where he can actually get in a position to leave the hospital. So that is fantastic to see just a week after it happened. I want to say thank you. This was my first full year in Detroit sports. Those of you who are new to me, I've been through a lot of stuff, and I have been in and out of this. And in 2000, and I walked away from the Lions, and the Lions had me. I walked away, and I let myself walk away. But I walked away from the fan base. The fan base, man, back in the 2019-20, it was a mess. Like, when I first got into it, You weren't allowed to have an opinion on the internet, and some good with some bad. And I wind up removing myself from the equation. I let what they thought of me. I let them dictate what I did. And as I matured as a man, and as I grew up a little bit, and as my skin got thicker, I realized that no matter what you do, somebody is always going to say you're not good enough. And when I realized that, and when I realized that talking about this team makes me happy, is when I decided that I was not going to let anybody push me out of this space again. Now, mind you, I let it happen. I allowed this to happen. So I just want to say thank you for supporting, the Gridiron Blitz, for supporting Detroit Lions Syndicate, our first year. We moving into our second offseason. That channel was started really a week, the day Brad Holmes got in front of the media, and now we're sitting at 7,500 subscribers. And I thought last offseason was going to be ridiculous. This offseason is going to be fantastic. And the last thing I'll say about Syndicate Sports Detroit, I'm really, truly trying to build something here. I really am. Got a couple guys talking Lions. I am on the hunt for the Pistons guys, for the Wolverines guys, for the Michigan State guys, for the Red Wings, the Tigers. I'm on the hunt for them, but it's very tough to find people who are creators and who actually have a talent to, be able to convey their thoughts. Not everybody can do this. So I am going to try to provide you with the best content possible. I mean that. And I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, man, for making this this channel here is monetized. We had a video last week that hit 500,000 views. 500,000 views. And there is nobody in Detroit sports that can say they have a video that has 500,000 views. And little old me, the guy that they try to run out this space, is here. And I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. So with that being said, let's get to our Detroit Lions. Dan Campbell got in front of the media today. First of all, the celebration yesterday by our team. And let's do this because we're getting right into it. You know what really bothered me? First of all, shout out to the Detroit Lions. And I see y'all in the chat, man. Shout out to the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions all week long had to hear how Aaron Rodgers was a bad man and how the entire NFL, they said 76% of the media picked the Detroit Lions. Well, shout out to Rex Ryan. Shout out to Coach Dungy. And shout out to America, because America picked the Detroit Lions to win yesterday's game. And when I tell y'all, I've been watching this game for over 25 years, this team. I have been talking on YouTube for almost 6, and I have never, Skip Bayless as well, I have never felt like I felt right now. And I'm talking about drafting Calvin Johnson, drafting when we went to the playoffs in 2011, when we got there in 2014, when we got there in 2016. I have never felt like I feel right now. I am ready for the season to start today. But we had to hear about how Aaron Rodgers yesterday, even Mike Tirico made it about Aaron Rodgers yesterday, which told me that NBC made it about Aaron Rodgers. Even today, we've had analysts that had to force the Detroit Lions on the conversation because the national media, they want to pat us on the back, but this is about Aaron Rodgers. Once again, about Aaron Rodgers. What's up, Antoine? Here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. The Detroit Lions did something yesterday that we haven't seen in a long time. Y'all like how we came full circle? Yesterday was our full circle moment. Bob Quinn in 2017 said 9-7 was our record and we couldn't beat the good teams. Well, now 9-8 is our record and we're beating the good teams. Full circle moment there. Dan Campbell got in front of the media. Man, okay, you know what we did yesterday? We won over America. We got a chance to be seen. Remember, y'all, the Detroit Lions were the only team in the NFL in 2022 that did not have a primetime game. And guess what? We did not disappoint yesterday. we got on that live with the bright lights in Lambeau Field in January in the cold with the Packers for everything to play for. And you know what we heard? The Lions. If I hear this quote again, I'm going to lose my mind. We had nothing to play for. Quote unquote, nothing to play for. But the real ones knew we had everything to play for. We didn't have a playoff spot to play for, but this is bigger than the playoffs. That's why I told y'all yesterday, the NFL was not ready to see the Detroit Lions in the playoffs. Now, what do you mean? What do you mean, Derek? It's not our time. They intentionally held us back via the Seattle game. Yeah, we could have won games. Yeah, Dan Campbell could have made better play calls early in the season. Yeah, one more bounce and we go into the playoffs. You know why? Because our dominance is being established right now. This is not overnight, y'all. This has happened from clowning Dan Campbell with the kneecap speech, not winning a game for 13 weeks. Do you remember they wanted to clown us when we won our first game? They celebrated like they won something. Your Detroit Lions ended the season 3-3. What did they do? Rough patch. They came out and almost was the second team in NFL history to make it to the playoffs after starting 1-6 with an extra game, but it didn't happen. And that's okay. Because this season, yesterday's game was much bigger than a first-round playoff exit potentially, or just making it to the playoffs. I see the bigger picture now. We got more love than 50% of the teams in there. So the Seattle Seahawks being there? No. Well, I mean, they got their way in there, but are they playing good football? Not really. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers got no business being in the playoffs, but they win in a bad division. We're better than 50% of the playoff teams. The Jets started off strong. They fell off. The Washington Commanders won 5 in a row. They fell off. The NFL said, and guess what I saw today? I saw somebody say, they mentioned the word Super Bowl and Detroit Lions. Mr. Poole says, I saw a guy say Lions had nothing to play for other than being poor sports and ruining a team's season? Hey, that ain't disrespectful, Mr. Poole. He's just an idiot. He just is an idiot. It is so much good to take away from not making it to the playoffs. And you know what I'm most proud of about this team? Is the fact that we played to win. We're going to look at that play later in this show. The Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson play call on third down and 17 that set up the fourth down. I have never felt more proud. We got on a national stage for the first time this year as the last game of the season, and we did not disappoint. We slayed the giant. Now, when you look back on the season, what do you see? You see we were almost there. We almost beat the Bills. And not like, it was like a fortune thing. We were handling a lot of these teams. We fought our way back for a lot of these teams. It's the ones that we completely laid an egg with that make the difference. I am so proud of this team and the respect that you have to give them after yesterday's performance. This is not about Aaron Rodgers. This is not about did you know that the Detroit Lions, did you know in their last 30 meetings before yesterday, they were 3-27, and all they kept showing during the Rams Seahawks broadcast was how the Lions were 3-27 since 1990 something in Lambeau Field. That's all they kept talking about. And we came out and we did what we needed to do. I'm proud of this team. I did say in the middle of the season when they traded TJ Hutchinson that if we did not win next year, I wanted them fired. Those are gone. They shut me up real quick. But I have never wavered. Never wavered. And I saw something I want to talk about as well. But listen, we have been going through, I really, truly believe that what we witnessed this season was the official culture change. We got a lot more to talk about too, but that'll be this segment. The Detroit Lions. Augusta says it the best. Greetings from the planet of Detroit and the brand new Lions. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now noticing the brand new Lions. Okay, so I'm in a good mood today, and I don't know whose picture is that, Jerry. But first of all, Jerry, I don't know if you've been listening, but you're a bum because this isn't a moral victory. Excuse me. This is not a moral victory. Okay? Let me put you in your place real quick, young punk. This is not a moral victory. We are 9-8, better than the Green Bay Packers. We missed off on the playoff game by half a game. We are the best team not in the playoffs. We are making noise for the remainder of the NFL is scared of us, bro. So I don't know who Jerry Smith is and who your team is. But come see me when your team is finished. What a doof. Moral victories. Did anybody say anything about a moral victory? We had a victory, you young punk. These people, man. The Lions are the same old Lions. Okay. All right, Jerry. And you're a bum. How about that? Why don't you go sit into the corner? Put on some episodes of Caillou too while you edit. You can't mess up my flow today. Pat McAfee ain't say nothing. He a bum too. He didn't say nothing. I didn't even watch his show. He didn't say nothing. I'm not going to let Jerry ruin my day. What's up, Mud Boone? What's up, man? That's another thing, too, that I wanted to talk about. Dan Campbell and his press conference today. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. I'm listen. You trying to disappear? You say one thing. You ever seen the movie Hancock? Hancock said, call me that one more time. Say something one time today. I'm not in the mood. I am not in the mood. All right, so shout out to Mr. Poole, man, for dropping this information. The Lions' future reserve signings, Maurice Alexander, Stanley Benning-Hill, Easy, Brady Breeze, Khalil Dorsey, Jaron Williams, Demetrius Taylor, Darren Paulo, Tom Kennedy, and Jamar Jefferson. Oh, by the way, Jarrett Davis no longer plays for the Detroit Lions. I just wanted to put that out there. Jarrett Davis no longer plays for the Detroit Lions, just in case you didn't know. We don't have to worry about re-signing him because he's not a Detroit Lion. Now, we got some bad news, though. Some bad news came out of Twitterverse about 5 or 10 minutes before I got on. And we're going to talk about it. But it looks like the Black Monday is here. Cliff Kingsbury was fired this morning. And I think we all kind of saw that coming. Contracts in the NFL don't mean anything. They fired Lovie Smith yesterday. Shout out to Lovie Smith too, man. Knew he was getting fired and still had them boys playing. And also, our former coach, Jim Caldwell, is also interviewing for a job. I don't think he's going to get it. I hope he does. He will be the first Detroit Lions head coach or former head coach that got a head coaching job somewhere else off a legit hire and not as an interim. So I hope that happens. Yes. But Ben Johnson, when Dan Campbell got on in front of the media about 2 hours ago, he was asked about Ben Johnson. Had anybody contacted him? At that time, the answer it was no. Now, coming out of Twitter, the Houston Texans have requested an interview with Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson is going to be a hot topic. Me personally, I don't know if he's going to get a job or take a job. We've seen before where offensive coordinators have turned down positions of head coaching positions to stay with their current team. I hope that this is the case. This is the one thing that we don't need to happen. Everybody was worried about Jared Goff being the quarterback of the future. Well, I think he answered that call. And I think everyone, whether you like him or not, he's here for the remainder of his contract for sure. That's not up for debate. But I think a big part of his success has to be attributed to Ben Johnson. Look what happened last year. Anthony Lynn was a disaster for Jared Goff. Dan Campbell takes over. Ben Johnson is being groomed. A former tight ends coach is now the next Sean McVay. Everybody wants to call him, right? But now he will get the call for a head coaching candidate. I don't think he's going to take it. I don't think he's going to get hired, I should say. If I am, and this could be completely biased, but if I am a NFL franchise and I've had some trouble at the coaching position, then I am going to need to see a bigger sample size of, exactly, Gary, not enough experience. Look what happened with the Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn could have been an absolute disaster. They wanted to hire Aaron Glenn. Oh, look what he was working with. Look at the guys he had. He had, Captain Planet and the Planeteers for defense. And that turned out to be a disaster. So maybe that was a good thing. I'm not saying that Ben Johnson is going to regress, but I'm saying that I don't think he's going to get a job based off of the fact that there's not a big enough sample size. However, there might be a franchise, as Nick points out, there might be a franchise that is willing to take the risk on Ben Johnson. Like one of them goofy franchises, like the Texans. The Texans are a goofy franchise. They don't know what they want to do. And ironically, that's the team that's interviewing him. So I could see Ben Johnson leaving Detroit as a head coach if the right franchise comes along. But a lot of these franchises right now, they're the Denver Broncos, the Arizona Cardinals. That is going to be a hot, but I don't know, man, because they're going to have to deal with Kyler. And believe you me, Kyler runs that organization. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Ben Johnson, my personal belief is that he will be back. Now, if year 2 and year 3 of him, his OCing, and Jared Goff is putting up top 5, top 10 numbers, then he out of here. And we could be in a situation where Jared Goff and Ben Johnson leave at the same time. But let me know in the comments below. Do you think Ben Johnson, how likely is it that you feel that Ben Johnson finds a head coaching job or is hired for a head coaching position? Now, Salty comes in and says Jared Goff is serviceable. And, I respect that, bro. I'll take that. But I hope that everybody saw yesterday that the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff ain't going nowhere. He got support from Jamal. He got support from, and most importantly, the head coach. And don't forget that we will hear Brad Holmes either tomorrow or Wednesday. Brad Holmes has not been seen since November 1st, the trade deadline. That was almost 10 weeks ago. We will see him. And Dan Campbell said yesterday, Jamal Williams said, I love it, bro. I love the transparency. Will Jared Goff stay in Detroit? The answer, in my opinion, is undoubtedly yes. There's no doubt in my mind that Jared Goff will be the quarterback of the Detroit Lions for the next 2 years. There's also no doubt that, yes, his success came from Ben Johnson. But you know what his success came from as well? His success came from the fact that he got more comfortable. The Detroit Lions got him some weapons. And I think that it's time to embrace Jared Goff as your quarterback. Season is over now, right? He had to finish top 10, top 8. He did not throw an interception in how many games, ladies and gentlemen? It was a lot. I don't know if it was 8 or 9 or something. He had one turnover on a fumbled exchange in a freezing cold that you could or could not put on him. I don't know. I appreciate that, big baby. Says it's not just any Monday, it's Victory Monday. Yes, and it's not Moral Victory Monday. That is correct. It's straight up Victory Monday. Dan Campbell said today that he fits what we're trying to do. Jared Goff fits what we're trying to do. So you and me can't do anything about that, can we? Nope. That's one of the things that I realized covering this team. That sometimes I have to fall back. I have to take what I might want to see and fall back. I didn't understand why you trade TJ Hutchinson in division. But I see now it didn't matter at all. TJ didn't want to be here. We didn't even need him. Sometimes you got to fall back. But I tell you one thing. I have always been defending Jared Goff. There was one time in last year when you could tell Dan Campbell was fuming that he had enough. And there was a point that we were screaming for David Blau and Tim Boyle, who is horrible, by the way, as the Chicago Bears. We were screaming for something, a spark, something to spark this team. Dan Campbell never benched him. And I thought in week 15 or 6, it was early on before we got that win, about week 8 or 9. I said, Dan Campbell is at his wit's end. You could see it in the press conferences. But just like anybody else who has to work through their relationship, they worked it out. He stuck with Jared Goff. This year came in. Jared Goff, the Detroit Lions had, I want to say, 15 turnovers or something this year. As far as committed those turnovers, which is in top 5, I want to say. It's very high in the league. Jared Goff is going to be here for the next 2 years. And I think that it's all time that we embrace that. Stop wishy-washing. Stop wavering. Jared Goff, like any other quarterback in the league, like any other player in the league, Saquon Barkley was the top runner for half the season. It wound up being Josh Jacobs at the end of the year. It's not how you start, y'all. It's how you finish. Get this man some support. Get him a defense. And watch him work. Watch him work. Because, see, I'm going to tell y'all right now, ain't none of y'all knocking me off Jared Goff. That ain't going to happen. I'm not going to wish-wash. I'm not going to say what the masses want me to say. I'm not that guy. You can find him on YouTube. I am not that guy. I will roll Jared Goff as my quarterback. He embraces what this city is. He is what this city is. Jamal Williams, Dan Campbell, and soon-to-be Brad Holmes will say nothing but kind words. And you know what we heard is that he's a leader. Even Penei Sewell, and we'll talk about this deeper into the show, about bringing free agents to the city. Jared Goff now is going to be that ambassador to bring legitimate free agents to the city. It is time, Lions fans, to embrace your new quarterback. Your old one is gone. Embrace your quarterback, Jared Goff. The Detroit Lions have found a quarterback. Now they have to get him a backup without breaking the bank. They have to make sure that we are in a position to hold it down. God forbid something happens to JG. Jared Goff, even though he struggled last night in Green Bay, He made the plays when they counted. He made the plays when they counted. Jared Goff is my quarterback. He should be yours too. Darn still just don't want to let it go. Says I embrace 1 year at a time. Okay, darn. Okay, darn. Amani is garbage. It's Garbo. He is out of here. He's gone. Yeah, it happened in 1970 to Cincinnati Bengals. It's going to be a stat that I never forget. If I'm the Lions, I'm trying to go out and get Jalen Ramsey. Oh, my God. Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it, y'all. Listen. I'm going to say this, okay? I said this last night, and I'm going to say it again. I said it during my live stream. The time for your Detroit, I have never been more confident. You know, talking about this team on YouTube, it becomes kind of like a part-time job. And I think that we're like deeper than the average fan because every alert on your phone is tingling, everything, right? Everything Lions, you're up on, right? And what I saw yesterday, I'm sitting there like the rest of the world, and I'm watching the LA Rams in the rain battle the Seattle Seahawks, who are terrible, by the way. And shout out to Jalen Ramsey, was a dog yesterday. He was a straight dog. And when I saw running into the punter, I said, aha, it was like, eureka, it's not our time. The Detroit Lions are not heading to the playoffs. It was at that moment that I knew what was going to happen. It was at that moment that I said, the NFL is not ready for the Detroit Lions. The worst call since probably the no call in the Rams game against the New Orleans Saints. And it was at that moment that I knew we weren't going. But Jalen Ramsey is a dog. But the NFL, whether you like it or not, you saw it. It was on full display yesterday. The NFL can't hide it anymore. They have been pulling the wool over most of your eyes your entire time watching it. It is time to embrace what the NFL is. The veil is gone. The NFL is an entertainment business. It is the entertainment, the WWFE, whatever it is packed. Madison Square Garden, the Palace of Auburn Hills, they pack it out, and they know that it is manufactured. That is what the NFL is. Why did I bring that up? Because I have told you over and over before that after 50 plus years of destitute, the Detroit Lions are on the come up. It just wasn't yesterday. It wasn't yesterday. But we on the come up. I told you this stuff. I told you this. The NFL will remain what it is, but our time is coming. You saw it this year. It was a couple calls you're like, oh man. I don't know if it's you just kind of laugh, was like, man, I don't really know if that was supposed to happen like that. That call went with what? Yeah, I think you saw it, right? You saw it. But it's coming. It's coming. We're going to get some primetime games for sure. I'm calling for 4 easy. We're going to be the LA Rams of 2021. The LA Rams had about 10, 11. They was on every week. Monday Night Football, Rams versus whoever. We was the only team. Just think about this. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. The Detroit Lions were the only team in the National Football League to not have a primetime game. They flex us to the last game of the season, the lone game we have in primetime, and we did not disappoint. Therefore, the hype on this offseason will be ridiculous. And let's not forget that who got the NFL draft? Who got the NFL draft in 2024? Oh, yeah, that's right. Your Detroit Lions. Detroit has the NFL draft in 15 months. If you didn't see it before yesterday, please open your eyes. See it. There's a reason, y'all, the Detroit Lions have been miserable for 60 years, and it's not because they're the most terrible team in the league. There are other factors at play here, but I promise you this. That time is ending. It is ending. 4 to 5 games in prime time. We play some stellar teams, and we're going to talk about that too. I mean, when I say stellar, I mean matchups. Like big market matchups. We're going to talk about that as well. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, man. How you feeling about the National Football League? Is it what you thought it was, or have you seen it all along? I have. I came out of the Matrix in 2019. Hands to the face. That's when I came from the Matrix. And I realized that I was in a different world. The world of the NFL was not what it appeared to be. So if you're just now joining us, we talked about Ben Johnson getting a call by the Houston Texans to interview. We talked about JG per usual. And I wanted to tell y'all something you didn't know. Shout out to Mr. Poole. Okay, and I wish I had this pulled up because I would want to show this play. We're watching the game yesterday, and Khalif Raymond takes a big hit. Big hit. He got up. You could see him. I said, bruh, he hurt. He was willing himself to stay in the game. He got hit by a Green Bay Packer, spun around in a circle, and was hurt. I could see it. I said, oh, that's a big hit. Turns out, Khalif Raymond is a dog, and he was a castaway. We are his sixth team, if I'm not mistaken. Broke his ribs yesterday and still caught a 50-yard pass from Jared Goff. What did you see yesterday from your Detroit Lions? You saw grit, you saw determination, and you saw playing for each other. Penei Sewell today said, as they were cleaning out the lockers, that he could not imagine being anywhere else in his career. That's what your Penei Sewell said. Khalif Raymond broke his ribs yesterday. I could see the pain. I thought he was done. And when he was out there, and then when he caught the pass, I was like, wait a minute, is the brother hurt? Now, you know they got the magic sauce. They got some stuff. Slap it on there. Maybe dull the pain. I've never had broken ribs. But I know they can't be comfortable. And you out there get hit and diving for, bro, Khalif Raymond is on the, he deserves what he got. He is on our team for another year. And I wouldn't mind if it's more than that. Mr. Poole says, I have broken ribs are horrible. I can only imagine. Yeah, Pacific, so did I. You could see it. I'm telling you. And what the Detroit Lions did, and this is why this is bigger than the playoffs, y'all. The playoffs would have gave us a time to be seen by the whole world. It would have really kind of storybooked this story. It would have storybook ended, whether we lose or not. It would have been a storybook ending to the season. But I think we had that anyway. We knocked off the Packers, who everybody attention was on. Nobody was looking at us. And for all I'm concerned, we did rich strike the NFL. This was a rich strike season. No, we didn't win the Kentucky Derby. But that ain't the point, though. We came back from 1-6. Mr. Poole says hurts to breathe. I can imagine. I can imagine it hurt to breathe. I have asthma, and sometimes it's hard, but it's never hurt. Dan Campbell, Perry Ball says we are 2-0 at Lambeau. Dan Campbell is 3-1 against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. This team played fantastic. Man, I could go on all day, but tomorrow we won't be on this channel. We're going to do a live season wrap-up on Syndicate Sports Detroit. But here's what I want to say. This is what I want to say about my Detroit Lions. You know, last year, I remember being extremely critical of Brad Holmes. Extremely. And I think as Detroit Lions fans, we know that we have PTSD from Mayhew, from Millen, and stuff like that. And Patricia is the worst. Him and Quintricia, they did us wrong. Right? But my faith had to be restored. And I gotta do something. This might be the unpopular opinion, but Dan Campbell gave someone a game ball yesterday that you might not expect. He gave Sheila Hemp a game ball. Sheila Hemp a game ball. Sheila Hemp has caught a lot of flack, in my opinion, for something that she didn't necessarily do. Yeah, she was around. But her dad was in charge. Her mom was in charge. And since she has taken over, she has backed up what she said she was going to do. Dan Campbell came out yesterday, or it might have been this morning, and said, Sheila Hemp came out in support of the management for you guys, for us, for the media, because we are in Allen Park with pitchforks in hand and we are wanting blood. He said she has never not believed in us. I knew how she felt. We knew how she felt. She did that for y'all. I got to give some credit where credit is due, man. Sheila Hemp. It was good to see her and what I assume to be her husband in the locker room yesterday. The smile on her face. You notice nobody's saying sell the team anymore, right? Have you noticed that? That the sell the team people, the SOLers are still around, but the sell the team folks, they kind of drifting away. That's right, Nick said he called her the best owner in the NFL. Says she's understanding, she provides what the guys needs, and that's what we wanted, y'all. We wanted an owner who was in touch with what her football guys wanted. And I think we have it conditioned in us. It's almost like, you know how people judge a book by its cover? How people, you come from Detroit, you must be ghetto. You come from Detroit, you must be poor. You must be ratchet. Right? I used to drive a school bus. Kids found out I lived in Detroit. They said, "Oh, Mr. Fields, are you okay?" They asked if a brother was I said, I'm good. It's not what you think it is. That's right. All roads go through Detroit. Dan Campbell said, we accomplished one step. Now it's time for the next step. Now it's time to get in the dance. Love hearing that from my coach. And to me, the first order of business is bringing back Jamal Williams, number one. The second order of business is shut down this talk about Jared Goff and whatever. Shut it down. And the third order of business is get that defense right. Get it right. Get it right. Paul says Dan Campbell said she gave him and Holmes full control. That's what we didn't have before. And we didn't have guys who knew what they were doing. Re-sign Jamal Williams. Shut the Jared Goff speech down and get a defense. And you know what they saw yesterday. And here's what I want y'all to understand. Why Bill says we belong in the playoffs. We absolutely do. But the ball didn't bounce our way this year. But that's okay. Because yesterday's game, the respect. Shout out to Rex Ryan. Yesterday's game was on display. America voted for the Lions. America got to see what we did. And now they calling us America's team. We put on a show yesterday. Not just for us, guys. Not for the playoffs. Not just to eliminate the Packers. Dan Campbell came out at the end of the first quarter and said, we trying to send him home. And Matt LaFleur was like, well, it's a dogfight. It's a scrap. Hey, boo-boo. And he at the crib, too. The Green Bay Packers, the Detroit Lions said, you coming too. You go, I go. We both go. Yesterday, what the Detroit Lions did is they put on display for the free agent market. Deron Payne. Remember them safeties that we couldn't get to come here last year? We didn't really have the money anyway. Remember those? Remember that Mr. Bobby Wagner who probably didn't even entertain coming here? Remember those guys? I bet you they come here now. Ain't it funny? Tyrann Mathieu, he goes to a team that has a losing record. Bobby Wagner goes to a team, has a losing record. And our Detroit Lions are the best team not to make the playoffs. You don't think that's going to bring some free agents to the D? You don't think a lot of them going to be beating down our door? Okay. Okay, MP, I got you. So when you think about yesterday's game, think about what I'm telling you. Yesterday was so much bigger than the 7th seed. We're talking about division. We're talking about home game. I'm starting to get excited, y'all. Forget that road game. Could you imagine Ford Field host a home game because we won the division? Could you imagine how it will be in the D? Something that a lot of y'all haven't seen in your lifetime. And the last time it happened, I was a teenager. This was bigger than the playoffs. And it took me all season to realize that. This game last night was bigger than whether or not. And that's why I felt disrespected. It was disrespectful for the Lions have nothing to play for. Only team not in front of the nation other than Thanksgiving. The only team without a primetime game. And we made a statement last night. Yesterday was the game telling the NFL and America that we was here. All right, now we got a couple more segments, but we got to go back a little bit. Okay? Now this segment might have to trump the first segment, but we got to go back a little bit because I just got some info. Appreciate you, homie. My source with a source that I trust. All right? And before we do that, I got to do this right here.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? 'Cause I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago. And what did I say will happen when I told you? Exactly what just happened.
Now you might be like, but Derek, why you play that, bro? Y'all know why I play that. I usually play that when it's something that I done told y'all over and over and over. And according to my source with the source, who I trust, says nothing official will come out being so early, but inquiries about one Mr. Jared Goff have come in. No detail on the teams, but questions have been asked. And I told you last week that at least a quarter of the league was interested in Jared Goff. The Washington Commanders, are looking for a long-term solution. Sam Howell may not be it. The Indianapolis Colts, long-term solution. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, long-term solution. There are at least the Las Vegas Raiders. They could use some help over there. I told y'all to be careful what you wish for. I told you that. Nate says the Panthers, absolutely. Be careful what you wish for, because we are not in the Bryce Young sweepstakes. We are not in the CJ Stroud sweepstakes. And I don't care that we're not. I'm good. From what I witnessed from defense from the Lions this year, turnaround or not, I want some dogs, bro. And I think I want playmaking dog. I want game-wrecking dogs. We got 2 more segments in this show. But I warned you, be careful what you wish for. Because Jared Goff, just like y'all don't want the brother. But somebody do. I guarantee you that. Jared Goff is not Carson Wentz. I remember before he was traded to Detroit, we used to have, when I was streaming, we used to say, which one would you prefer, Carson Wentz or Jared Goff? One came out number 1 in 2016, one came out number 2. And unanimously, it was Jared Goff. Be careful what you wish for. We're doing something that we didn't do under Matthew Stafford. Building a complete team. We are going into year 3. You're going to have to tuck the word year 3 of a rebuild. I don't think a lot of people are going to be using that as an excuse in 2023. Be careful what you wish for. Now, does Goff benefit from Ben Johnson? Absolutely. Do we really want a rookie quarterback to come in here and disrupt everything? I don't. You can see Goff is comfortable. The team is comfortable. Goff was running left and threw right yesterday. Dan Campbell expressed the comfort level to do that, the moxie to do that. We're building something. Why start again? Now, if we get a rookie in the 3rd or 4th round, fine. Well, we don't have a 4th round pick. Fine. But watch free agency. Watch it now. We get somebody like Baker Mayfield. We're not taking the quarterback. And we're going to use that 4th round pick or that 6th round pick on somebody else. Brad Holmes took 6 of the 8 draft picks on defense. And one of them we're going to talk about for sure. Jared Goff, I told you this. Y'all ready to throw him away. He's not as bad as y'all want to say he is. And when I say y'all, I'm talking about the ones that are saying that. We absolutely need a backup. Pacific says, Goff ain't going nowhere. That may be true, but I told you that people are pulling the chain. They're pulling the chain. Augustus, holla at the email, bro. I told you this. So, do I want to see Jared Goff walk away? Absolutely not. I think it's funny that Matthew Stafford wins a Super Bowl at 33 years old, and Jared Goff is reaching the peak of his potential. We finally are in a position to do something that we did not do with Matthew Stafford. We kept the same quarterback and moved all the other pieces, never put the complete team around him. We did it a couple times. We know what happened. Be careful what you wish for, because if you get what some of y'all want, we might be picking top 3. I'm just saying. So again, my source with the source, whom I trust, says nothing official will come out being so early, but inquiries about Jared Goff have come in. No detail on the teams, but questions have been asked. You bet they have been. Have you seen Matt Ryan? I bet they have. I would have taken a certain quarterback who plays for the Cleveland Browns over Jared Goff at the beginning of the season, just because of his potential. And now I'm rethinking that. Be careful what you wish for. All right, it's 2 more segments, y'all, I want to do, because I think this is very important, okay? And then we'll wrap the show up. Again, I will be live on Detroit Lions Syndicate tomorrow for a season wrap-up. Hopefully we have some Brad Holmes coverage. If not, we probably will get that Wednesday or Thursday, okay? But this right here, to me, is a big deal. First of all, I've never seen the Detroit Lions. Like, it feels different. It feels different. We didn't make the playoffs, but we ended with a winning season. And that's a big deal. We knocked off the Packers. Y'all don't understand, bro. Like, you really have to be a Detroit Lions fan to understand. Lions Mania, I am. Wouldn't miss it. But the Detroit Lions knocked off the Green Bay Packers. That's why I can't stand. We didn't have anything to play for. All right. Now, in my opinion, okay? In my opinion, let's do this. Now, this isn't coming from a place of bias. And I want you guys, as a content creator who covers the Detroit Lions, you start to see through things. We're very emotional. So we're not drones. We're not robots. We have emotion. And sometimes that gets the best of us. But seeing year 2 of Brad Holmes' draft, there are things about him that I see. Trading back is something that I could see. The fact that he is an enigma, that's what I see. You can't pinpoint what he's trying to do. But one thing that I think I have buttoned down is we want football players. We don't want divas. We don't want entertainers. We don't want comedians. We want football players. And we got one in Aiden Hutchinson, not Kayvon Thibodeau. We took Aiden Hutchinson, who, in my opinion, has to win Rookie of the Year. All right? Now, Dan Campbell said today that it is a team effort, and we saw that. What happened when John Kaminsky went down? Who we need to resign, by the way. He wants to be here. There's some people we need to, Brockers, he need to go. But even as Alex Anzalone, we have to upgrade at the linebacker position. But you know what? Alex did his thing this year. He did his thing, and I think he has earned a place on this team. Aiden Hutchinson, to me, deserves Rookie of the Year. A lot of people thought it should be Sauce. I mean, Tyreek was in the conversation, and James Houston was making some ruckus. But when it was all said and done, Aiden Hutchinson, okay? I'm about to tell you something, in my opinion, that why it should go to, in my opinion, Aiden Hutchinson. The 2020 Defensive Rookie of the Year was one Chase Young. Chase Young, 7.5 sacks, right? Four forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries. Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think going into yesterday, it might have been up for debate. Is it Sauce? Is it James Houston? I mean, is it Woodley? Who is it? But yesterday, in a big game with quote-unquote nothing to play for, Aiden Hutchinson came through and got 9.5 sacks. Now, let me remind you, okay, off the top of the head, I think that's more than Nick Bosa his rookie year. Nick Bosa, off the top of the head, had 9. And Nick Bosa also won Defensive Rookie of the Year. Aiden Hutchinson ends the year with 3 interceptions, 9.5 sacks, and at least 2 fumble recoveries. I think yesterday cemented his Rookie of the Year status. And we are just seeing this man from the beginning. If they don't give it to Aiden Hutchinson, that will be criminal. So in my honest opinion, no bias at all, I think going into yesterday, it was up in the air because you don't throw the Sauce aside. Sauce may not have the numbers, and I think maybe because of us being the Detroit Lions and what we're used to, the Pro Bowl glosses over people, right? I think yesterday cemented that Aiden Hutchinson, 2 really big sacks. So, and you can see where he had his growing pains, but what you can see and what I love about the Lions is Aiden Hutchinson was stout against the run. I love the fact that they play well. We saw what happened. Kaminsky was out and Hutch disappeared. Soon as Kaminsky come back, Hutch is there. James Houston comes in. Hutch is there. Hutch was getting double teamed more than anybody else other than Nick Bosa going into like week 5. So, in my opinion, no bias aside, Aiden Hutchinson should win Defensive Rookie of the Year. And bringing it back to Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes, he might be unpredictable in will he trade up, will he trade down, and who he's going to take. But one thing I feel like I have buckled down is that Brad Holmes wants men of character that fits this team. That's what he wants. I don't think Kayvon Thibodeau is that guy. And looking into this year's draft, look for those guys. Look for football players. Look for people who are non-divas. Look for people who did not skip their bowl game. Look for those people. And for the next 3 months, extensive interviews to get to know these gentlemen. While we can't peg down if he's going to trade up or not, I think that those are the qualities that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are looking for. And in my opinion, it would be a criminal offense to not award Defensive Rookie of the Year to Aiden Hutchinson. Man, oh man, I tell you what, man. Never been so excited to end the season. Like on the season, I'm sad it's over. I'm sad it's over. Because that means that there's no more. We don't have it anymore. And that makes me sad. That makes me sad. All right. So this is going to be the last segment of the day. I will be doing the college game today between TCU and Georgia. We'll be going live probably up. The game is at 7:30, right? So if it's at 7:30, we'll probably be going live at about 7. I haven't done my thumbnail or nothing. I probably won't do a Detroit Lions Syndicate video. I might be in and out for a few days. I got a lot of stuff going on, launching a few new channels, trying to get this one up and going. Just super busy. Still got Gridiron going on. So we got games on Saturday. So I got a lot of stuff going on, but the offseason is here. And appreciate that, Joe Lewis. Appreciate it, bro. Always have, always will. I will never sell out. So I appreciate y'all. Tomorrow, we're going to be on Detroit Lions Syndicate, talking more Detroit Lions live, and I'll be on camera tomorrow. Tomorrow on this channel at 5 o'clock will be Touchdown Detroit Lions. And something happened with David. He had a personal situation as to why there was no show on Saturday. So that was that. But let's do this. All right, now I'm going to put this disclaimer out here so I won't get any more stupid people in the comment section. This is a play breakdown. I am showing this video live. If you show it live, the NFL will look at that as showing their content. And if they take me down, they take the video down if they feel like I'm showing the content. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch. No more dumb comments in the comment section. There is a reason I talk over the play. I'm very good at it as well. So if you don't like it, go watch somebody else. Now that we've got that out the way, this play call right here is why the Houston Texans want to interview. I got ahead of myself. They want to interview offensive coordinator Ben Johnson for the Detroit Lions. This play right here was the play that set up the 4th and short. Now, in between this play was a 3rd down run by Jamal Williams. Exactly. The hook and ladder. All right? Now, it's not necessarily the fact that it was a hook and ladder. It's how it was run and where it was run. Now, some people seem to believe that the Detroit Lions would not have done this if they were in playoff contention. And I say to you, you don't know my team. Now, again, there is a reason I stopped this so much. I might be able to get away with letting the play one time, but that's it. All right? So do not be dumb in the comment section. There's a lot of y'all last week. But this is a 2nd down and 17. It was just like a critical holding call or some penalty against the Detroit Lions as they're trying to put this game away. As you can see, Green Bay is out of timeouts. They have none left. Detroit is up by 4 points, trying to keep the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands so he doesn't have some miracle walk-off touchdown to send the Green Bay Packers to the playoffs. Now, Jared Goff is in the shotgun. This is DeAndre Swift to his right. Right at the 2nd and 1 marker, the graphic you see, Amon-Ra St. Brown. This was the play that set up the 4th down conversion. But this play was beautiful, and the execution was flawless. The timing had to be perfect. Okay? So I'm gonna let this play once. Hopefully the NFL does not strike me down, and then we will go through it one more time. And my videos can be however long I want them to be. If you don't like it again, you don't have to watch. All right? Let's let this play. And DeAndre Swift is going to pick up almost the whole thing. Now, they're going to mark him down where he started to fall. Okay? Play this just a little bit to get this thing going. They're going to start this. They're going to play this. All right? Got a text message while I was doing this. They're marking where he started to fall, so they put him 2 or 3 yards short. But look at the execution on this play. What a play call this was on 2nd down and 17. The danger involved in this play. Now, as the ball is snapped, it's immediately thrown to St. Brown. They are all over this play. As a matter of fact, when the ball gets to St. Brown is contacted immediately by the defender. And he has almost no time to get this thing to DeAndre Swift. The play was brilliant because the Green Bay Packers, they know what our tendencies are. They know that St. Brown is always open. If we need a play, we're going to throw to him. And this was a beautiful play call by Ben Johnson to throw the sit off St. Brown. As we play this, you'll see immediately. He barely taps it. The contact was so immediate that he barely got a chance to tap it. He essentially taps it to DeAndre Swift. And the timing on this was insane. If anything is off, this is a disaster. At this moment, that is a fumble waiting to happen. So kudos to DeAndre Swift for making it happen, for having the awareness and the hands to make this happen. And you'll see the line of scrimmage, DeAndre Swift is still 6 yards from it. And when he catches it, he's still 6 yards from the line of scrimmage. Now, remember, he had to pick up 17 yards. He wound up getting about 14. And I want to say that's Brock Wright out there about to make a block right at the line marker. Play continues to run, and DeAndre Swift, Penei Sewell gets out there. And at first, I thought he missed his block. But if you watch the play, he actually pulled out. So he didn't. His job was to get out there in front of the play and block for DeAndre Swift. DJ Chark, I want to say that's Chark. That might be Reynolds, though. That might be Reynolds out there blocking number 29. Play continues to run. And the vision, that's Josh Reynolds by Swift. Look at Penei Sewell was able to make his blocker, his defender hit the ground. Now, right now, DeAndre Swift is at the initial line of scrimmage. So he's already picked up a yard beyond the initial line of scrimmage after first contact, and that's where they put him down. So his knee is down right there. He's down. He still needs about 4 yards to go. The next play was a run to Jamal Williams, and then the 4th down play from Jared Goff to DJ Chark. That's actually another video I want to look at, but I'll see if I can cue it up. But this, fantastic. Again, don't bother me in the comment section. There's an art to this. If you don't like it, if I talk too much, that's your problem, not mine. Appreciate y'all. All right, now I want to look at this other play as well. And then we'll wrap this thing up because I got to get ready for tonight. I'll probably have this come out tomorrow. But I will be doing more of this in the offseason. In the next season. I will invest in the R22. I've always wanted to do this. This play was so good, the NFL showed it twice. They showed it twice. Somebody in their editing department really been messing up, man. And if DeAndre Swift could have got past that, man, after that initial block, he would have been out. He would have been out. And I don't know the severity of his injury. I know he got kind of his ankle pinned behind him after that play. So I hope that he's okay, but he'll have a whole offseason to get it together. And I really, really want to see Swift succeed. No. Okay. Hold on, because this. All right, here we go. All right. No, I'm sorry, y'all. I did it again. God. I keep hitting the start. I'm trying to pause this video, but I keep going back to the beginning. Because I want to show y'all the 4th down conversion. All right, no. Okay, this is it. This is it right here coming up, and this will be our last play. And then I'll start getting ready for tonight. So 3rd down and 3, Jamal is going to, man, I hope Ben Johnson, I really hope Ben Johnson do not take a coaching job. I really do. All right. So if you watch my play call about the hook and ladder, then you are familiar with what this play is right here. This is the Detroit Lions 4th and 1. This is how they put the game away. Now, again, do not bother me about the fact that I talk too much or that I don't let the play. There's an art to this. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, find somebody else. That's the last time I'm going to say that. And if I repeat myself, so what? Find somebody else. This is a 4th down and 1. The Green Bay Packers are out of timeouts. This is for the Detroit Lions to get them off the field and send them to cleaning out their lockers, just like the Lions are going to do. This play call here was fantastic. It was fantastic. Very gutsy move to pass this. But you know that the Detroit Lions, the Green Bay Packers are thinking, hey, they got Big Maul. He got the record for touchdowns. What they usually do and what they might do is run it. But in that case, they come out. There's no running back. Now, I don't understand how this play was able to happen the way it did. I don't think, like I'm looking at the Green Bay Packers defense, and they got, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 or 8 guys on the line. I think that's 7 because then everybody's up because they're thinking, I don't know what they're thinking. Like, I'm looking at this play and I'm saying, okay, there's nobody in the backfield, so this is going to be a pass, right? 86 says they jumped all on Amon-Ra. That could be because you see that there's nobody in the backfield. So if I'm the Green Bay Packers, I'm like, okay, this is obviously going to be a pass. But I want you to see this. Now, number 53 is looking back at the secondary, okay? So he might not be paying attention. But Douglas's job, I'm assuming, is DJ Chark. He's at the bottom of the screen right at the end at 4th and 1. I want you to watch this play. I'm going to let it play once, and I'm going to try to go back and show it again. But I want you to watch this play. I just don't understand how the Green Bay Packers allowed this to happen. Boom. He was so wide open. How are you that wide open? Douglas looks lost. He let him run right past him. Now, let's go back just a little bit. All right, so that's the one before that. Got to go up just a wee bit. All right, there it is. So Douglas is also looking in the backfield. He's also, if you're looking right now, not the backfield, the secondary. He's looking, so he looks lost. That might be a reason why he was so wide open. But soon as the ball is snapped, right upon, look at it, nobody is on DJ Chark. Douglas got caught looking in the secondary. I think his man had to be one of the two. So he chose, I want to say that's DeAndre Swift running out in the flat. Look how open right now DJ Chark is. Jared Goff is already lined up to throw it. I don't understand how you let him get this wide open. I don't understand. But this could be on Douglas. This could be on number 53. I don't know his name, but he was wide open. Now, at this point, he recognizes the play, but it's too late. The ball is already gone. And he still got to close about 2 or 3 yards. And thankfully, this was not one of the balls that Jared Goff threw into the dirt. It was a perfectly thrown ball, perfectly timed. I just don't understand how the Green Bay Packers let this play happen on 4th down and 1 for DJ Chark to be that wide open. That wide open. DJ Chark makes the connection and is not even touched until he falls forward by 4 yards. Solo says they were confused, and that had to be what it is. That had to be. Because if you go back, like I said, I need to know how they get the software to rewind stuff, man. Because if you go back to the play, 2 of the defenders were caught looking. It says it's there, but then it's, okay, let me go back to there. If you see it, 2 of the defenders were caught looking in the backfield or in the secondary. I keep saying backfield. And he was so wide open. Beautiful play. The play that sealed the game for the Detroit Lions and sent the Green Bay Packers home. But yeah, man, listen, I appreciate y'all. I'm excited about this all season, and I'm ready to get going. I'm ready to, oh, wow. Coming from Phil Yates, shout out to Mr. Poole. 4 minutes ago, the Titans have fired 4 assistant coaches, including OC Todd Downing. I say, oh, my God. You know what? I knew the Titans were going to start doing something. I even thought that Mike Vrabel could be a casualty. Lions Mania says, why did Quay Walker push our trainer? He pushed our trainer because he was too emotional. He was too emotional. He did apologize in a tweet, a quite lengthy tweet. He apologized for the push on the trainer, especially knowing what happened and stuff like that. Derek, if you use the left and right arrow keys, you can skip 5 seconds in YouTube videos. Really? Okay. I didn't know that. So what, the up, down, the side to side boys, bro? Okay. Let me see. All right, let me see. Let me bring it back in and see. Do you have to be playing it? Okay, it didn't work. It didn't work, but I'll keep trying it. Also, Ben Johnson will return to finish what he started before he leaves. Anthony, I think so, but I also think that he doesn't have enough of a resume. Yeah, he cried to the locker room. He said he was crying not because he got ejected, but because he did it again. He got ejected a second time. Nick says Titans' whole offense is giving King Henry the ball. That's another, listen, the Tennessee Titans better believe they'll take Jared Goff. Remember y'all was talking about Malik Willis at number 2? Remember that? Remember y'all was talking about Mr. Malik Willis at number 2? And I guarantee that the Tennessee Titans would take Jared Goff in a second. Okay, Paul, so if you're on the computer and you hit maybe it's because the software I'm on, I'll try it in a regular browser and see. It could be because I'm not in a regular browser. That would be. that one reporter would love a Goff for Tannehill trade. Absolutely. But listen, I appreciate y'all, man. This has been our best show on this channel. We've hit 1,100 views. We had over 200 people in the chat. I think we capped off at 20-something. I will be working on a studio setup beginning next month. I will be appearing on camera. I'm trying to, really figure this out. I have no producer, so I have to do all the camera changes and stuff like that myself. So I got to figure out the logistics of that nightmare. But I do plan to be in front of you guys very soon. I appreciate you. Camping with the forest. Camping in the forest. I appreciate you, bro. I really do, man. You said something the other day that really tickled my fancy, bro. You knew exactly who I was talking about and why I was talking about it. Mwah, 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 mwah. I love it, bro. I love it, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate all my real ones, man. But listen, we going to go out the same way we come in. And this going to be my theme song, bro. This is going to be my theme song because my team deserves it. I'm just mad I didn't think of this song, man. That's my biggest thing. But I appreciate y'all, man. I will see you tomorrow on Detroit Lions Syndicate. Lions are coming and the NFL knows it. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Be safe, everybody. Love y'all. Peace.
Hello, good morning. Horns is blowing, and I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on the feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets. Cause when you're in the Motor City, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets. Cause when you're in the Motor City, everything ain't pretty, but it's love though. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet.